Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into Game 3 of the Best of 3 series between sAikO and Perpetual Genesis. We've got sAikO on the blue team and Perpetual Genesis on the red.
Yeah, this is a one-apiece best of 3 as well, so all to play for in this last one. sAikO is going to be on the blue side as well. I'll touch on that in a second. Obviously, level 1 fights, always apparent.
Yep, we've got the positioning, both teams going in hard, and it's going to be given across to sAikO, and the first kills are going to be traded as well. sAikO being chased at the back of the fight, 2 kills already for sAikO, and they've got maybe one more in the bag if they can just sneak it away. Doesn't look like it this time, but certainly came out of that one pretty darn well.
Yeah, that was a big knockout there as well. 3 members knocked up for the side of PG. Did mean they were unable to secure that one. sAikO actually got the relic there as well, so he got the level advantage. And someone we don't actually see all too often as well. Go4 is going to be taken in the top side coming through as well.
There's also going to be Tusker down the bottom, another unusual choice. It's great to see these teams going for some alternative choices, and we're hoping they actually work out so we don't... so we keep seeing them trying out these alternative choices. Certainly, Tusker got those good crowd control along... he goes down very low. I thought for a second that we might be seeing the even up with Perpetual Genesis taking down Tusker very, very low. But that Jackson down the bottom lane doing work.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work. Thing is, obviously, blue side still have the advantage. PG, they might be looking for a fight.
Go4 going down very low. There's the secure kill. Monkey gets almost taken out. Oops, sorry, we'll just drop away from that for a second. But yeah, Monkey gets taken down so incredibly low. They even up between the two teams. And Perpetual Genesis are ready and willing to make those plays.
Yeah, they really are. Monkey obviously just managing to escape that one. We do have sAikO down in the bottom lane as well on the Tusker against the Jackson, like you were saying. Just getting bullied out, however. We do normally see Tusker over on that top side to provide support rather than anything else. Obviously, he does have a lot of CC. Go4 the same. The thing is, he just doesn't have very many ways to escape. sAikO, though, still with the advantage in terms of levels, as Jackson tries to get on top of Tusker. He does manage to use the flash away there. The teleport is being used, making sure he gets out of there soon.
There's a fight breakout in the middle. Tusker may not be involved in this one. Holler has to fall back. He's getting chewed down, but it may not happen in time. The counter aggression coming out, and we're seeing nice teleport from Monkey. Secures the kill, and suddenly Perpetual Genesis are in the lead.
Yeah, that was pretty big there. They do secure that 1 kill, so it's going to be really good for them. Tusker looking mighty strong there in the bottom side. Has picked up both those kills, obviously. Now Go4, an interesting hero, legend even. I'm just gonna we'll keep an eye on him just for a little bit because we don't see him all too often at all. And I'm curious to see if more teams are going to start picking him up. He does have a lot of CC in his kit, meaning obviously he makes a very good supportive hero.
Oh, for sure. His crowd control absolutely bonkers. But it does mean, of course, that sAikO are putting a lot of pressure on this poor little panda who is at the moment getting crowd controlled for absolute days. Gonna have to use the teleport to get away. And for a second I thought Perpetual Genesis might follow up. Nice Piranha coming out in response, though. They do secure the kill and they're chasing the other members of Perpetual Genesis out of the fight. Monkey going very, very low. Tusker may well dive him. No, it's going to be another member instead. A nice double kill picked up for the Go4.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big there. Tusker obviously with the CC is pretty apparent in these team fights. You gotta keep an eye on him. You gotta make sure you know where he is, because if he enters these team fights and manages to CC any of your members, you bet your bottom dollar that they're gonna chase you up on it as well. sAikO, they are in the lead, only by 1 kill, however. They've got a little bit of an XP advantage as well down in the bottom lane. It's going to help them immensely, especially coming towards the mid portion of the game. But it's been quite a bloodbath already. 7 kills stretched across 4 minutes. It's pretty big.
We've seen sAikO having such trouble in this Tusker down the bottom side, but now just look at the numbers. He's got 2 kills, he's got 2 assists. I mean, they're managing to make up for it in teamfight what they've struggled to achieve in the early game. certainly, as you were saying, Tusker not particularly strong in the lane, doesn't really have any real way of doing damage unless he gets right up in the opposing team's face. But that's working out pretty well so far. Here comes Tusker with engage. Monkey gets caught. Piranha comes out and a big knock-up as well. A lot of damage going through. There's Piranha a little bit too late. Tusker gets the triple stun, but it's not going to help him get away. That's going to be a nice caught. And it's going to be a clean ace for Perpetual Genesis.
Well, Perpetual Genesis going huge there. Jackson especially picked up the double kill. Comes in thick and fast. He's definitely trying to get solidified on this board. Now it's the XP advantage and the kill advantage coming through from Perpetual Genesis there. Monkey, just with the amount of CC that they got on their team as well, something you really need to look out for. Striker's providing a lot of DPS in the backline as well. Someone you really have to make sure you get on top of early in a team fight in order to take him out.
Yeah, I mean, he cannot be left unattended, but it looks like that's anything but the case right now. And now he's getting chased down, but he's going to get a little bit of help from his friends, but he's been pushed out of the back of the fight. And that's so important. Both these teams leaning so heavily on their strikers to be able to provide that damage. They both got a lot of crowd controls on the table, but if they don't have their strikers, it's limited how they're going to be able to make use of all of it.
Yeah, most definitely. And you've got to keep an eye on him and make sure he's going to be all right during these team fights, because realistically, if he does get dove on fairly quickly, he's going to fall, and then that will be a lot of your DPS that will be down the drain. Now, the winner of this best of 3 will go on as well in the finals to face Kings Row, and that will be one more best of 3 there until we are crowned our NA Cup number 8 champions.
These guys, they feel like they're really playing carefully at this point. They've obviously both got a lot to lose coming to this game. Relic is going to be coming up. And again, we're seeing sAikO Blue being able to control it, get that extra bit of power on the Gore. Not the regeneration, perhaps we were hoping for that extra level, but still cannot be discounted. Just a little bit of extra damage coming through, especially since Gore does not tend to be the priority target, so he gets a little bit more time to get through those extra empowered attacks.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. You just got to make sure he can do that, and keeping him safe is going to be the aim of the game. You see Striker in this top side, just using that cover in the bushes up there, just making sure he can't be seen, just possibly trying to set up something there, but he's not going to be able to find anything at all. But we do have Jackson in the bottom side. He's fairly strong at this point. 3 kills, 1 death. He's looking pretty good. With the 2 kill advantage as well, PG, what they got to do at this current time is just make sure they can force these fights, get their striker in a favourable position to do DPS, and then just hopefully win it out through there. Interesting,
we were seeing over 5,000 gold in the pocket of the completely unpronounceable striker for sAikO Blue. sAikO on the blue team, but a fight's breaking out. The Jackson gets the catch, the Piranha comes in, but it's 3-on-1. Where are his teammates? There's a huge knock-up. Striker gets taken out, but they're going to trade the Jackson back. Oh, are they? It's a 1-for-1 right now. There's the Piranha comes out, gets a double hit. Can they finish the job though? They do. Anaris takes a kill, but Cull gets picked up on the backside, and again, it's both teams, incredibly violent team fights, trading 2 kills each way.
2 for 2 there. Tusker obviously picking up those ones. sAikO really did a good job in that team fight, but Gore at the end there, you saw him with the massive 2-man knock-up, just wasn't able to make anything of it, and that was really realistically the problem. Like I said, you got to keep your striker alive in order for them to do damage, because Gore is going to provide a lot of CC, but you can't realistically rely on Tusker 100% of the time in order to do the rest of the damage that your team needs to follow up.
Oh yeah, I mean, once he's got that initial burst out of the way, which, speaking of burst, Striker is getting burst right now. He goes down in a hurry, the Piranha. Too late to do anything about it. And yeah, we were saying, Tusker, once his initial burst is gone, he doesn't have too much necessary to bring to the table apart from his just sheer tankiness. But sometimes, that just doesn't matter. As Cull gets caught, Monkey in so much trouble. He does get the triple knock-up. He's trying to get away desperately. He does get to the health pack, but it's not going to keep him alive. sAikO the one to take the kill.
Yeah, he did flash forward there just to pick up that kill under the tower. Definitely worth it. You've got to use that teleport aggressively, and that is when you needed to use it. 8-8 on the scoreboard now. They've managed to even it up. 8 minutes into the game, this has definitely been a bloodbath. 25 seconds left on the Relic as well. Ice Giant going to be available too, so I want to see what team wants to put a lot of priority on that Ice Giant, just because it can be such a force. But you see down here, Striker rotating down to the bottom side of an unguarded tower. Him and Tusker are going to pick up this one for the first tower of the game, just meaning there's going to be an advantage now permanently in this bottom side.
Oh yeah, I mean, you were talking about taking that big global objective. Once look at those towers down, it's going to be so much easier. And again, we've seen the Go4 picking up the regen. Good relic control so far for sAikO on the blue team. And it's really paying off. There we go, the Ice Giant is going to get started up, but this could be risky. They don't know where Perpetual Genesis is at all. We'll have to have a quick sneaky peek, and they're nowhere near it. They don't even realise it's going on.
They do not, and that's actually going to be taken over as well. So that's really, really big for them. And having that in the bottom side especially is just going to enable them to free push the top side, because Perpetual Genesis have to deal with it down in the bottom lane. And now it's going to be an easy push for these guys open to the top side now. sAikO is really going to have an easy time. Ice Giant just takes so long to kill. You can see him like waddling up to this tower now, only just making it to try and hit this tower and do a little bit of damage. And you see right now, they've just taken advantage of this. sAikO taking this top tower is going to be pretty big. They could have made a little bit more of an advance with the Ice Giant, but taking that tower is good nonetheless.
Yeah, Piranha comes out, doesn't quite connect this time. This could have been a mistake though, has to teleport away, and there's the big crowd control coming in. So much crowd control, undeniable. The cut a little too late from Monkey. They are chewing through the striker who does go down, but it's going to be a very difficult fight for Monkey to win. He has to teleport out of the fight. We'll follow him underneath the tower, and sAikO push through and manage to take it pretty convincingly.
Yeah, oh, Go4 almost went down there though. But yeah, the CC chains coming out from sAikO are just absolutely huge. And you've got to keep that in mind. As soon as you go in these kind of tight, confined spaces, Perpetual Genesis are going to have a really, really hard time actually dealing with the CC that's going to be layered down. And with Striker, like almost baiting himself there, kind of walked into the team fight and then used the teleport away in order for his team to actually collapse on the rest of Perpetual Genesis. It was a really good play, I feel. And Striker especially just did a lot of damage at that fight and then just left Tusker to clean up.
I mean, yeah, it worked out so well, but certainly sAikO on the blue team playing with fire, and there comes the Piranha. Doesn't connect this time round. Will Perpetual Genesis want to take advantage of this cooldown being up? They do! They're going to take the striker down so low! They do finish the job. Their striker on the backline continuing to put through DPS. Monkey is trying to stay alive long enough to keep his carry from being collapsed on, but there it is, a double kill coming across the Go4. It's going to be, I think, a triple kill. Absolutely massive. sAikO cannot be denied.
Yeah, they really can't. That's going to be a humongous team ace there as well. 14 kills to 10. Absolutely massive. And that will mean as well that there's only 6 kills remaining on the side of sAikO in order to take this victory. We saw this last game. These games are really just ending up in who can get the most kills rather than who can actually just push down to the last base.
Certainly, it feels like sAikO's current strategy of just using the absolutely bonkers crowd control to really take control of these fights is working out so well for them. So honestly, if I was in their shoes, I would be doing the same thing. I have to think that Perpetual Genesis have to try and find a different way to force this last stage of the game to play out, or it's just going to keep happening again. It's so hard to keep your damage dealer alive when your whole team's getting knocked up at the same time.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, as soon as you get locked up in that CC chain, it's just absolutely devastating. And there's not really anything you can do about it. I mean, you obviously do have the teleports away, but the problem is that if you do manage to teleport and the rest of your team can't follow through with that, then it's going to be a massive disaster and team are going to get wiped.
We do see sAikO take the Ice Giant, but they may pay the price for it. How do you see able to try and get away? No, he went back in again. That's pretty surprising. Tusker trying to do work. Striker taking them solo, but he manages to crawl out of the fight. The teleport trying to follow Anaris. He's managing to get the distance away. We're going to see Tusker try and follow up. He can't quite do it. Striker comes up again, but that could be a mistake. He doesn't get stunned up. So important. But Anaris, he went a little bit too far too soon. Jackson not able to quite get the job done. But they are going to trade the kill back. And at least it's going to be still pretty close to these two teams. Ice Giant presses in on that bottom side tower though.
Yeah, that Ice Giant is just going to actually rain havoc. And you can see there him almost taking that out. And with PG, obviously they did get the beautiful team fight there that they really wanted with only giving up 1 kill. The kill lead is almost, the gap is closing on this kill lead, and that's the most important thing. The problem is this current time, that tower is on such low HP that anybody from the side of sAikO can just walk down there and take it rather easily.
Absolutely, there's a lot on the line at this very moment for Perpetual Genesis. They cannot afford to even have a running fight that could lead to sAikO going down and just taking that tower away and being able to have access to their barracks. At the moment, the minions at least pushing in their favor down the bottom side. Not going to be sAikO not really going to be able to push on that tower until those minions are up. Of course, the enhanced armor making it almost impossible for sAikO to push out without minions, but they seem to be attending to that very matter as we speak, chewing through the minion waves at speed and potentially starting to close the door of opportunity for Perpetual Genesis.
Yeah, exactly that. They really need to make sure they push for these advantages now. They are going to try and set up a kill bush here. The problem is that there's no one for Perpetual Genesis trying to even attempt to go in their jungle. They know it's a dangerous place at this current time. You see sAikO there just taking this minion wave, just making sure these waves are pushing in their favor. Because remember, like I said, that tower on the bottom side is so low at this point that anybody could just walk up to it realistically and take it.
You pointed out before that sAikO using their striker as bait, they're set up in the adjacent bush, trying to lure in Perpetual Genesis with what they could perceive as an easy kill, and then counterattack, completely tearing the heart out of them if they overcommit to try and put striker out. Of course, still a very risky strategy if they don't get there in time, and they just end up losing all of their damage for nothing.
Exactly that. Make sure your striker's protected was the name of the game. But unfortunately, PG just could not make that happen. See what they can do at this current time, because they are at a kill deficit here, 12 to 15. Might not seem like a lot, but the next two team fights are going to be so crucial, and then we're going to see another one here.
Yeah, Tusker does come in. They're trying to engage onto the strike at the back, but the big double knock-up, and Iris is going to be able to get the distance. They get the kill. They've got the advantage, but can they turn it into a finish? It's Striker chasing him down underneath the tower, but this might be a mistake. He's going to get taken out, and suddenly Perpetual Genesis almost wrest it back to a total lead. A triple kill going across the Jackson and a complete ace in their favor.
Wow, that was absolutely huge from them. 1 kill difference now with that massive ace as well. Look what they're doing. They're doing the right thing. Ice Shine is available, and having that pushing, they've got no towers down. But with that, along with the amount of damage and items that they've got at this current time, they're going to be able to shred these towers like no tomorrow. And that's exactly what they should be doing. And they're probably just going to walk down in this bottom side right now and just give it a go.
We've seen both of these strikers able to push through a lot of wave pressure very quickly. We've seen the Ice Giant diverting the attention of sAikO Blue for just a moment, but as it seems, Perpetual Genesis, they aren't going to try and push their luck here. They're falling back, trying to make sure they don't get caught out, because, I mean, though the 20 kill limit isn't going to come off the next fight, potentially still the end of the game could very well.
Yeah, exactly that. One more team fight going either way is just going to make sure that the other side is just very scared to try and engage. Thing is, though, Perpetual Genesis, they do have those towers down, those 2 tier 1s, so again, it's going to be really important for them to try and keep the rest of their base alive. sAikO, you do see on the Tusker, has fallen off just a little bit. He's not on fire anymore, but if you look at their items at this current time, they've got a lot of money under their belt. And Monkey's going to have to be really careful on this side, because sAikO especially are just roaming in groups at the moment, just making sure they can get these favourable fights. And look at that tower's HP. I'm surprised it's still alive.
I don't know if it's going to be for long. Certainly Perpetual Genesis setting up camp around it, making sure that sAikO know they're not going to take it without a fight. Seems very smart. They're looking to try and choose and get a fight where they have the advantage around the tower. If sAikO take their eye off the ball, trying to put damage down that tower, presumably we'll see Perpetual Genesis try and force and engage at that point. So, sAikO respecting that, backing off for the time being. This is probably what I think might even be the longest game I've ever seen being played. The Piranha comes out, doesn't fully connect. We could see the counter engage coming out. And they do manage. Gore's going down on right near the turret. We've got they are tearing through the sAikO lineup, who are being divided across this side of the wall. Their strikers are going to go one-on-one with each other. They're going to have a little bit of help from their friends. There's going to be the last bit of damage done, and it's only going to be Tusker left standing, who's going to be forced back to run away. He's surely going to get stunned up. There's the fist coming out. There's the kill, and suddenly this game is all about Perpetual Genesis.
Yeah, and they were just behind this whole game, and now look at where they are, 18-16, 2 kills needed from them. And now this is the problem. Perpetual Genesis, they can play aggressive now, because even if they get a team wipe, it will mean sAikO still needs to obtain 1 kill. But if they dive in all in here, if they get a complete wipe, obviously they're going to win the game. 2 kills towards that 20 kill mark, and Monkey, you saw in that fight, just had a really, really good one. He obviously used the CC effectively and was able to just give Striker so much distance, enable him to DPS in the backline, and that's what realistically led to their victory there. Striker was able to DPS in this backline, just making sure he can take out the very squishy Striker in the back. And just having those aggressive team plays and using the teleports aggressively as well is just leading to their victory at this point.
I mean, we've seen both teams make use of the Ice Giant, which did just spawn just now. I don't know if the game will go long enough for us to maybe see any Fire Giants come up, but you make a really good point. Ice Giant getting picked up, didn't even realise that was happening, getting taken out really quickly by sAikO. But yeah, a really good point. If we see a team fight break out between these two teams, if it goes even, then Perpetual Genesis will just win the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the problem right now. Ice Giant is in the top side there. You can see Perpetual Genesis. They're trying to now counter it. It's got a lot of HP, but that tower is pretty chunky as well. So they will be able to probably just kill it off before anything bad happens to that tower, and before any meaningful damage goes down as well. Tusker's down in this bottom side. They know that tower is almost at 0 HP, so they're probably just going to want to take that out ASAP. You can see Striker just walking up to it, almost takes it out. And this could be the final fight.
Piranha comes down, the big crowd control, both strikers pouring in damage. This time, it's sAikO who are coming out ahead. They're forcing the disengage from Perpetual Genesis, but this was the team fight they wanted. They're going to take the tower, and they're probably going to take the barracks as well. Can maybe move in on the base. Here comes the Piranha coming out, but Tusker's going in really hard. He's so tanky. Both strikers at the back again, pouring the damage. Gore going down very low. He does manage to teleport out just in time. But both strikers still try and pour through the damage. Such huge tanks on both teams. Strikers trying to do work, but ultimately it wasn't the decisive fight, but both teams within reach of that 20 kill mark as we power past the 21-minute mark. Oh wow, another fight is breaking out. Low health bars for sAikO, but they did get the good positioning. Piranha comes down, Big Piranha gets a triple hit. We do see the Striker getting taken out. It's going to be kills all back and forwards. Can they just manage to do it? It's going to be the last kill. It's going to be Perpetual Genesis taking the game and the series.
Wow, that fight at the end was just huge. The delayed team fight coming off the back of that base take, that was absolutely massive. sAikO just unfortunately there just didn't hold their lead in the early game. Maybe the Gore pickup wasn't the thing they wanted, but Jackson just coming up huge. MVP there as well, and that's going to be them going through to the finals to face Kings Row.
Wow, what a game. We'll be back with you guys for the finals as soon as we possibly can. Can only hope it's half as explosive as that one.